When one hears the word angels, several images are likely conjured within the imagination, often influenced by centuries of artistic depictions and pop culture references. Many envisage angels as serene beings with flowery human forms, adorned with golden halos, feathered wings, and often playing harps. Others may visualize them as cherubic figures, innocent and chubby, reminiscent of Cupid. This soft, non-threatening portrayal of angels has become the universally accepted representation of angels. However, are these widespread depictions of angels biblically accurate? Or are they merely artistic interpretations, watered-down impressions of the celestial beings described in the Holy Scriptures? The reality, as depicted in the Bible, contrasts starkly with popular representation. Angels are far from the soft, harmless entities many perceive them to be. In fact, the modern-day representation of angels could arguably be considered offensive, belittling their true essence and the significant roles they play in the divine scriptures. In the sacred scriptures, angels are unveiled not as gentle harpists, but as powerful messengers and warriors of God, embodying strength and radiating the glory of the Creator. Their appearances are profound, often overwhelming those who witness them, commanding reverence and awe. Intriguingly, it seems that demonic entities have been granted a more accurate representation in terms of their formidable nature, often depicted as intimidating and powerful beings, starkly contrasting the supposedly benign nature of their angelic counterparts. This documentary embarks on a journey to unearth the truth behind the angels of the Bible, peeling back layers of misconceptions and revealing the formidable and awe-inspiring nature of these celestial beings as originally portrayed in the Scriptures. While exploring the biblically accurate depictions of angels, this film seeks to rekindle a sense of reverence and respect for these divine messengers and warriors, delving into their true purpose and the indispensable roles they fulfill in the cosmic order. Why is it that devils and demons have retained a semblance of their formidable essence, while angels have been rendered as tender, soft, delicate beings? Why has the true image of angels been seemingly shrouded, their formidable essence obscured by generations of misrepresented imagery? These are questions that beckon earnest exploration, prompting us to venture into the unseen realm and uncover the hidden facets of the spiritual world. Through the exploration of ancient scriptures and theological insights, this documentary promises a transformative journey, challenging preconceived notions and enriching our spiritual understanding, providing a glimpse into the unseen realm of the true, biblically accurate angels. Angels and archangels. The Bible does indeed portray angels as both innumerable and as having been present since the time of creation. The scriptural account suggests that angels were created by God before the formation of the earth, serving as witnesses to the unfolding of the universe. The term angel, derived from the Greek word angelos, literally means messenger, and this definition encapsulates the pivotal role angels play in the biblical narrative. Throughout the scriptures, angels are often dispatched by God to convey vital messages, guidance, or judgments to humanity. A survey of the Bible unveils myriad instances where angels, unnamed and powerful, intervened in human affairs as carriers of God's messages or executors of His judgments. It is crucial to recognize that while Michael and Gabriel are the only angels named in the Bible, with Michael explicitly identified as an archangel and Gabriel presumed by many scholars to be one due to his significant roles, the Bible is filled with narratives involving other unnamed angels, displaying a range of roles and responsibilities. In Exodus 12:23, An unnamed angel is depicted as the agent of a dire judgment during the Passover. This angel traversed the land of Egypt, executing the firstborn of every household that lacked the protective mark of the blood of the lamb on the doorposts. Angels are not soft beings. They are incredibly powerful. Similarly, the pages of biblical history record instances where angels were instruments of severe judgment upon the Israelites. In one such instance, an angel struck down 70,000 Israelites as a penalty for David's disobedience in conducting a census, showcasing the gravity of defying divine commands. Another vivid portrayal of an angel acting as an executor of God's judgment is found in 2 Kings 19:35, and its parallel account in Isaiah 37:36, where an angel of the Lord decimated 185,000 Assyrian soldiers in a single night. This large-scale annihilation affirmed the might of God's messengers and his supremacy over the nations, irrespective of their military prowess. These true accounts emphasize the remarkable strength and authority bestowed upon angels, starkly contrasting the prevalent depictions of them as benign, gentle creatures. While Michael and Gabriel are recognized entities, the Bible reveals a multitude of unnamed angels that come in all shapes and sizes. Revelation chapter 10 presents a colossal angel whose awe-striking grandeur and potency contrast sharply with conventional portrayals of angels. The angel is so large he has one foot on land and the other on sea. In God's system of angelic hosts, there is a structure of power and responsibility. And at the top of this structure, we find an angel called Michael the Archangel. Michael is the only one the Bible calls an archangel. We're told Michael's title in Jude 1:9. The Greek word for archangel, archagalos, means chief angel or chief messenger. The word archangel isn't used to describe him in the Old Testament, but another angel calls him one of the chief princes in the book of Daniel. Daniel 10:13 states, "But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia." It is interesting to note that he describes Michael as one of the chief princes. This suggests that there could potentially be more archangels. However, the Bible is silent regarding this topic. One of the most mysterious heavenly beings in the Bible is the cherubim. These heavenly beings are the first heavenly beings mentioned in the Bible. Cherubim, often depicted as mysterious and celestial beings, hold a unique place in the realm of angelic beings. Throughout the Old Testament, they are mentioned over 90 times, reflecting their profound significance in God's divine plan. These majestic creatures almost always serve in the capacity of guardians and protectors, entrusted with safeguarding what belongs to God, even His very presence. According to the Bible, there are 4 cherubim mentioned in different passages. In the vision of the prophet Ezekiel, in Ezekiel 1:5-11, he sees 4 cherubim around the throne of God. Similarly, in the book of Revelation, in Revelation 4:6-8, the Apostle John also witnesses 4 living creatures, which are commonly believed to be cherubim. There very well could be more than 4 cherubim, because the Bible does not explicitly state that there are only 4 cherubim. However, we will stick to the number 4 because we see only 4 mentioned in the Bible. Interestingly, there were originally 5 cherubim, and the 5th cherubim being the fallen one, Lucifer. In Ezekiel 28, the passage speaks of a being described as the anointed cherub that covereth, and some theologians and scholars propose that this description refers to none other than Lucifer, the fallen one. While the primary context of this passage appears to address the king of Tyre and his prideful downfall, certain elements of the language and symbolism have led to the secondary interpretation of a reference to Lucifer. One key aspect that supports this interpretation is the description of the being's exalted position and beauty. Ezekiel 28:12 and 13 states, "You were the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you." These attributes seem to surpass those of any earthly king, pointing to a celestial being of immense splendor and significance. Furthermore, the passage mentions the being's presence on the holy mountain of God and being in the midst of the stones of fire. This imagery is reminiscent of the heavenly realm, suggesting that the being in question had a celestial origin and function. Lucifer was a cherubim. Now, there is something about Lucifer that I wonder whether the holy cherubim have the same ability of being able to take on different forms. The Bible does describe Satan as a deceptive and cunning being who can masquerade as an angel of light. We see this in 2 Corinthians 11:14, suggesting that he can appear in an alluring or deceitful manner to deceive people. That is an interesting thought. Could it be that the other cherubim also have this ability to transform into angels of light or transform into other beings? Ezekiel 1:5-11. "Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. And they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went everyone straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side. And they 4 had the face of an ox on the left side. They 4 also had the face of an eagle. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies." From the passages in Ezekiel, we can discern the physical attributes of the cherubim. They possess a human-like form adorned with 4 faces and 4 wings. Each cherub has 4 distinct faces, those of a human, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. Their legs are straight, and their feet have the appearance of a calf, shining like polished bronze. Remarkably, beneath their wings, they have human hands. These celestial beings move forward in a straight path, never turning their faces as they go. The descriptions of cherubim in the Bible depict their majestic and awe-inspiring nature, with eyes all over their body. Ezekiel 10:12. "And their whole body, and their backs, and their hands, and their wings, and the wheels were full of eyes round about, even the wheels that they 4 had." Imagine the sight of this extraordinary creature before your eyes. The cherubim, as described in the passages of Ezekiel. In Ezekiel's vision, cherubim are described as having multiple faces: that of a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. Right here in the appearance of this heavenly being, we encounter one of the most intriguing aspects of the creature. It has multiple faces, that of a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. So we have a heavenly creature that has the faces of creatures on this earth. We know that cherubim were created before the creation of the world. Because in the book of Job, we see that the sons of God, which were angels, shouted for joy when God created the earth. From Job 38, 6 and 7, we clearly understand that angels predate the creation of the earth. Therefore, they also predate the creation of all the living creatures on this earth. In simple terms, that means they predate the creatures that they resemble. Isn't that intriguing? After studying this area of Scripture, I never looked at humans, lions, oxen, and eagles the same way. This point might not blow your mind, but when I understood that this heavenly creature has these 4 faces, yet it predates all of these 4 creatures, I was completely amazed. So here we have cherubim, and I think we can all agree that cherubim are unique creatures. They bear the resemblance of earthly creatures that were not created when the cherubim themselves were created. This is why I describe these wonderful heavenly creatures as the most mysterious ones, because they clearly have a connection to the earth. But the Bible does not reveal a tremendous amount of information about them. In addition to the cherubim, there exists another class of celestial beings closely associated with them, known as the Ofanim. This term, Ofanim, is the ancient Hebrew word for wheels. The singular form is Ophan, while the term Ofanim can typically denote normal wheels on carts or chariots in the Old Testament. It assumes a special connotation in Ezekiel's vision, where they are depicted not as mere inanimate objects, but living entities. In Ezekiel 1, verses 15 to 21, the Ofanim make their mystical appearance. As I looked at the living creatures, I saw a wheel on the ground beside each creature with its 4 faces. This was the appearance and structure of the wheels. They sparkled like topaz, and all 4 looked alike. Each appeared to be made like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the creatures faced. The wheels did not change direction as the creatures went. Their rims were high and awesome, and all 4 rims were full of eyes all around. Such descriptions resonate with Ezekiel 10, verses 9 to 13, which offers similar portrayals of these enigmatic beings. The primary context presents the throne of God set on these Ofanim, or wheels, maneuvered by the cherubim. The intricate design of wheels within wheels, set at cross angles, suggests a divine chariot capable of omnidirectional movement without the need to pivot. The celestial cherubim, accompanied by the Ofanim, partake in the divine task of moving the throne. This paints a majestic image of God's divine order in the heavenly realm, with the Ofanim and cherubim working harmoniously to fulfill God's purpose. Such descriptions of the Ofanim in the book of Ezekiel bring to light their significant role within the grandeur of God's throne. You see, God has resources at His disposal that you and I cannot even begin to comprehend. He operates on a level far beyond human understanding, with means and powers that remain hidden from us. Can you imagine witnessing these heavenly beings? Creatures of unimaginable splendor and might, perfectly aligned with God's divine will and purpose. Their presence would leave us in awe, a stark reminder of the majesty and glory of the Creator who commands the heavens and the earth. As Isaiah chapter 55, verses 8 and 9 declares, For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. The celestial hierarchy, as described in the Bible, reveals beings of immense splendor and awe. While angels and cherubim are more commonly discussed, another group of heavenly entities, the Seraphim, occupies a unique and enigmatic role in the scriptures. Their name, derived from the Hebrew verb seraph, means to burn, suggesting an intrinsic brilliance and fervor. In Isaiah 6, verses 1-7, the prophet Isaiah provides a vivid account of his encounter with these celestial beings. During a vision in the year of King Uzziah's death, Isaiah saw the Lord seated on a high and exalted throne. Surrounding him were the seraphim, each with 6 wings, 2 covering their faces, 2 covering their feet, and 2 with which they flew. These beings, like the cherubim, deviate from the conventional representations of angels. Their 6 wings and their proximity to God's throne indicate their distinct stature in the heavenly realm. Perhaps one of the most intriguing facets of the seraphim is their continual proclamation. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. This threefold declaration emphasizes the unmatched purity and perfection of God's holiness, a holiness so radiant that even these exalted beings must cover their faces in his presence.